Welcome to Newto Media, where we connect you to the best service professionals and help you learn about great experiences all over the world.
All right, everybody, Zack at Newto Media again. I'm excited to have Brian Wilson with me today. Brian K. Wilson, I should say, is a realtor in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and we're so excited to have him here with us. He's going to give me a hard time about how bad the Eagles are going to be beaten up on the other teams on the East Coast this year. I told him I was just jealous as could be because my Falcons cannot seem to get it together, but we're excited to learn more about Philadelphia today. Brian, thanks so much for being with us.
Zack, thank you for having me. I appreciate the time and opportunity.
Yes, sir. No, all kidding aside, I really appreciate when a guest like Brian has done such a great job of preparing for the show. And Brian has some fantastic information to share, whether you're somebody who is thinking about moving to the Philadelphia area or you are even in the market already and just curious to see what's going on in Brian's world. I think you're really going to like it. Brian, I'm going to, first of all, just ask a couple questions about your getting into the industry, because it's always interesting for us to learn about how people got into the industry. How did you get into real estate?
I literally fell into it. I was living in an apartment with a roommate. Things went south. Him and I are still good friends, but it was time to kind of go. So I bought a condo, and in buying the condo, life came along. I had a one-bedroom condo, and I wanted to buy a house. My daughter was on her way. I was struggling. I needed to find a roof over our head, and I did not know what to do. An old girlfriend called me up and told me her mom and dad were selling their house, and if I wanted it, I could have it. Wow. So I wrote the offer myself, presented the offer to my attorney, and the realtor that helped me purchase the condo that I lived in. I just thought he was just worked for the condo. I did not know. Right. And they both looked at it and said, if you understand this, you should be a real estate agent. And I looked at both of them and said, what's a real estate agent?
That's great.
And by the time I was college educated, I had graduated from Temple and everything. I just didn't know.
Yeah, but if you've never had experience with it, you've never had experience with it.
Never had experience with it. So they kind of motivated me. I went back to Temple, where I graduated from. Yeah. I went to the Real Estate Institute. I sped through the course. I mean, I drank the entire book. Yeah. I talked to a broker I met and signing off to be my broker of record. The day before I took the test, I drove to Harrisburg with all of my papers because I just knew I was going to pass this test.
That's what I'm talking about.
Test in Harrisburg. I was finished by like 1 o'clock. By 3 o'clock, I had my realtor's license.
That's awesome.
I think 30 days later, I think I closed my first transaction.
That's a pretty quick start, actually, too.
Yeah, I was so hungry for this. I was so motivated and driven to do this. I knew it was just in my DNA to do this. I got blessed with great clients. One of my first client was an attorney. Yeah. So she knew I didn't know what I was doing. Right. And she introduced me to her lender, and the lender and the attorney together kind of walked me through the process. Yeah. And the listing agent on the other side, she knew I was brand new, so from talking to me. So she was like, Brian, we're going to help you get through this. So the three of them guided me through my first transaction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've all had those breaks. We've all had friends or family that helped us get started, but they only did that because they believed in you. And so that's great. I mean, people do business with the people that they like.
They know, like, and trust. Yeah,
that's right. That's right. And so, and I can tell from looking through some of what you shared that you've done a great job of building up a lot of relationships in your great city, and it's going to be fun to share some of these. I want to also ask, when we talk about the different cities and what makes them unique, we tend to talk about food. Always talk about the food. So we'll come back to that in a little while.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about some of the things that are maybe natural wonders or things that are amenities that people have in an area that they don't have in other parts of the country. So we'll talk about some of those things. But in talking about Philadelphia, what would you say is a good description of what makes Philly different?
Wow. Philly, what makes it different?
Yeah.
Wow. From so many.
I mean, the history. Most of us, even in other parts of the country, know about the incredible history of the area, and how important it was for, the founding of our country.
Right.
If you don't study your history, people, Philly is really important for the United States.
Here, the signing of the Declaration took place here. My office sits behind the Liberty Bell.
No kidding.
Yes. So the National Institute for the Museums are here. Oh my God, the Art Museum is here. The Philadelphia Zoo is here. The first part was built is here. The thing that makes us, please forgive me, I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
The thing I think that makes us unique truly is the rich history that exists here in Philadelphia. A lot of us migrated here from different places and different locations, all for different reasons. But we got here and we had to find a way to coexist. And in learning how to coexist, we brought with us our history and our culture, and we were able to blend it all together. Sometimes it was fun, sometimes it wasn't fun, but we found a way to blend it all together. I think the thing that helped to bind us was the sports teams, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Flyers, the Sixers. Those teams really, we found a passion and a love for them. And in turn, they gave us that love back, and it binded us together. So you will find so many different people that bond together just over sports teams. Yeah, just over the sports teams is the glue that holds us together. And then we're able to share our cultures. We used to have something here called Unity Day, where all of the different nationalities would get together and along JFK Boulevard between the Art Museum and City Hall, and they would all set up and vend their different cultures, food, tchotchkes and all the little things that sell. We kind of bring them all together and say, this is what we bring. This is our culture. This is what we share. Yep. So we, those are the things that help to tie the binds together for Philadelphians.
Yeah, it's and it is cool how different areas, like they have a personality. I mean, it's hard to describe. I'll give an example, and this is my wife and I, when we turned 50 last fall, we decided we were going to do something kind of cool to make us feel young. We were going to go to a couple concerts that were in other parts of the country. Okay. And we did one Metallica show in Seattle. I'm not like a big heavy metal guy, but that was one band that I thought was pretty cool. And we flew out to Seattle and did that. And then another band that we like and that my wife hadn't seen was Pearl Jam. And we got a chance to see Pearl Jam in Philly, and it was amazing. It was probably the coolest concert experience I've ever had was when we were in that Pearl Jam concert, and Eddie Vedder gets the whole crowd a couple times, the whole audience singing. He wasn't, and I guess we've all been to concerts where they do this, but those couple moments when that happened in this Pearl Jam concert was so incredible, because I think a lot of it was just the the passion of these people in
Oh,
Philly,
yeah.
because it was not just like a small group of people off in the corner were doing this. Like
It was
30,
everybody.
40,000 people, 30,
Oh, yeah.
40,000 people as loud as they could singing this song. And I mean, I was like hair on my arms standing up. It's like, oh my God, it's incredible. But it's a really, it's a passionate people, and I love it.
That's the electricity of the city, man.
Yeah.
I mean, those events like that, I think, are the things that really bring us together.
Yeah.
I mean, they talked about, when the Eagles won, they talked about, oh, they're tearing up their city and they're climbing the poles. We had a ball because whatever they broke, they were going to fix it and put it back together. There was no doubt about it. They were going to take care of it. But just in that unifying, bonding moment, the partying on the street, the celebrations together, it was electrifying, just to see the city come together like that. That's the beauty. That's the love. I can't say I've been everywhere, but the places that I have been, I haven't seen that kind of shared passion. Some people say it's that we're overboard with it, but I don't see it from that perspective. But it's hard for me to not see it from any other perspective because I was born here, so I don't know anything different.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you were able to experience it here.
Oh, it was really cool. And I've went to, anyway, have had a number of cool experiences, and also had a great conference there in the harbor a few years earlier. It's a cool city.
Yes.
One thing I'm going to do, and this is one thing we try to do, is we try to bring things to people that they did not know about a city. And you brought something to me in our show prep that kind of blew my mind, and I'm going to share this a little bit out of order.
Okay.
But I'm going to start sharing a few images so we can talk about some of these cool things.
Okay.
Let's see here. Let's see if I'm in the right order here. Okay, there it is. You told me that this is the largest park in America. I didn't know that.
Yes, it is.
Tell me about this.
So it's called the Schuylkill, and the Schuylkill cuts through the city and connects to the Delaware, but it goes all the way up in the Lehigh Valley. Schuylkill is a Native American word that means hidden river. So it's down, and it separates the northern portion of Philadelphia north and the northeastern portions of Philadelphia from the western portions of Philadelphia. And then it cuts through Center City at 30th Street at the train station and goes all the way south into the Delaware.
Yeah.
We boat on it. We have the Dadville regattas take place.
Okay.
Schuylkill.
So competitive boating. That's cool.
Yes, because Boathouse Row is right in Fairmount Park. So many of the universities have boat docks, boat harbors there, and they house their boats there for competition. The regattas. There was also we had the bike races, the Core States bike races that took place that came through here. So there was a lot of activity going on. We had any bike-a-thon, walk-a-thon, run-a-thon takes place in the Schuylkill and starts at the Art Museum and kind of goes around from there. So definitely a place to visit when you come back to Philadelphia.
Absolutely. But I mean, it's like for those of us that are not, there often, we're thinking of just the urban area and, maybe big events, but we're thinking of in the city, and we don't think of it having like the natural wonders too. So it's cool to see that it's there.
Oh, there's so much that goes on there. There's a gazebo yard. There's a flower yard. It cuts through up to the zoo. wow, there's so many things along there. There's a walking trail through the Wissahickon that'll take you up through Wissahickon trails. I was just there biking just a couple of weekends ago. So, yeah, they cut off on the weekends. They close off Martin Luther King Drive. That's the old West River Drive to auto traffic. So it's just the bikers and the runners that have access to it to kind of just bike and run.
That's great.
Yeah, gives you some nice exercise.
That's cool. It's great to give people that time and give the bikers a chance and the runners a chance to take advantage of it like that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Brian, I'm going to transition a little bit to help the audience or introduce the audience to your why, so to speak. We always like to get into a little bit of, what makes you you, and I think we can't do that without just showing some of these images that help with that. Okay. This is a great professional photo. That's the realtor taking care of business photo that we do see often. But
that's the real estate special.
I love it. Yeah, good flex there. Okay, and let's see, who's this beautiful lady?
That's my wife.
Okay.
Been married going on 13 years.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a great shot. And then we're going to share some of the kids here.
Yes, that's my youngest graduating from Howard University.
Wow.
Can't tell you how proud I am of her. She did it in COVID. She graduated high school in COVID and was able to complete her degree from Howard University in 4 years. So
we can relate on that, because my oldest son, it was the same situation. Graduated from high school in 2020, did not even get a high school graduation.
No graduation
because of COVID.
Right.
And then went off to college and had, half of his college taken from him due to COVID.
Yeah.
And it worked out well. He graduated from college at Kennesaw State here on the west side of Atlanta, over in Marietta, and everything's great now. But I do feel bad for that generation of kids, that age group that just kind of missed out on some of that fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll won't dwell on that too much. And then here's a graduation / Philly photo that I know a lot of people will know. Tell us about this one.
Tell you, the Rocky statue is one of the most popular tourist spots I have ever seen in my life. The line that forms in front of the Rocky statue just to get a picture is unbelievable.
I believe it. I totally believe it.
Around the corner.
Yeah.
People are just trying to get a picture in front of the Rocky statue.
Man, that's great. And I still think Stallone should have won an Oscar a few years ago. He had a nomination for, I guess, I don't know if it was for the series or what, but he had a chance to, I believe, won an Oscar that I think he should have won, because it's too important for our culture as a country. It's been such a great story, and it inspired so many people, helped so many people.
It is. And his whole story, everything, him putting it together and doing it here in Philadelphia was the biggest bonding for the city. I mean, I hear people talk about, oh, well, he wasn't a real boxer. That's not the point. Right. I mean, the unification of the city over this movie and what he did and was able to create and pull together, on a shoestring budget.
Absolutely.
On a shoestring budget. And the effect, the long-term effect, the global effect that it had on others, that drive, that will to win, that passion was the basis and the foundation for the city, I believe. Growing up in it, I was when Rocky was out, I was a kid. I was like 12 or 13 years old. played in the Police Athletic League Drum and Bugle Corps. And Rocky was the song that we played, was one of the songs that we played during our concert segments for marching in Drum and Bugle Corps. So
yeah,
it just meant a lot to me, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I just think it's a great American story, and
yes, it is.
I love it. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of a transition to just some of the sites around Philly and some of the things that I think most people will probably recognize. But if you don't recognize it, these are just wonderful things that you can experience. And I'm guessing these first two pictures might even be related. You want to tell me about this?
Yeah, two different places. This is a night shot from a restaurant called R2L.
Oh, okay.
At 16th and JFK. So it's the rooftop view facing west. That little green dot building, I believe that is a Comcast, or that's one of the buildings next to the Comcast building. That's the western portion of the city that you're looking at from downtown Center City, Philadelphia.
Yeah, yeah. Brian has done a great job of getting us some really cool restaurant scoop, and there's more. Here's another one. Tell us about this. That's a beautiful shot, by the way.
That is the lobby of John George's at 1 North 19th Street, 19th and Arch. It's the rooftop deck of the restaurant in the hotel. To get up there, it's a glass elevator. So don't be afraid of heights. When you get in this glass elevator.
Yeah.
Because it's the only way up and the only way down that I know of.
Yeah, there's one like that. The Equitable building has a rotating restaurant like that in Atlanta. And yeah, you have to be careful, or just turn the other way. Don't look.
Yeah, don't look.
It's so cool. All right, and then here's another site that I think most people, if they're familiar with Philly, will recognize. But I love the way Philly has some of these traditional architecture. You know, the Greek. You know, like is it Athens? I'm thinking of. I guess yeah, and that is, you said that's the art museum, correct?
Yes, that is the art museum. It's the other side of the art museum, the other side of the Rocky Steps, the other side of the Rocky statue. It's the back side of the art museum and the Schuylkill. In the middle, the water goes over what we call it's a spindle that helps to power the city. So underneath it is the spindle. And the continuous running water keeps the spindle running, which is a large part of our electrical system that runs.
I did not know that. I did. You're teaching us here. That's really cool to know.
Yeah.
And then shifting over to a little bit of culture before we get into some of the very cool success stories. This is one that I did not know anything about. Tell me about Time.
Time is a jazz restaurant where they play live music. They set the band up in the front in the window. It's got that very cozy, dimly lit, warm bar feel with great food and excellent live music. They get musicians from all over the city to come and sit in and do a live set. And I mean, it's just a really nice, comforting spot to go to for a warm drink after a long weekend. You know, you come down on a Sunday, you find this place. It's a hidden jewel in the city. It's not on the beach. That's
why we need you here, man. It's the hidden jewels. That's what we're here for. Yeah,
that's definitely one of the hidden jewels of the city. There's many, but this is one I love. It's close to the heart. You know, you get a great meal, you get some really good jazz, you get to hear some really good musicians come and perform, And it's just a great place, a great time,
That's
Definitely
cool.
put it on the list when you come.
Absolutely. Yeah. I want you to take me there when I come up to Philly again.
Okay, definite.
Okay. All right. We're going to transition to showing some of these amazing success stories you've had in real estate, because I love that you shared a number of these. And we want people, again, that are thinking about moving to Philly to know that they've got somebody in town now. Tell us about this little bundle of joy that you've been working with.
These are my clients at the settlement table. The baby
Yep.
is the client.
Yep.
So the baby was definitely the buyer. We really worked to make this family, get this family into their new home. It was a challenge on a deal for the seller side. It was a very difficult transaction on the seller side. It was very emotional. There was a tragedy associated with the sellers
I'm sorry.
that we sadly uncovered during our investigative research. But I'm so happy that this family was able to reclaim this house, bring new life, love, and joy to a big, beautiful house, 3-story corner house, 5 bedrooms with a humongous front yard. Yeah. I'm really happy for them that they got it. We were able to, get everything squared away, and then give one family some relief, and then give a new family a new start, a new family, family start.
That's great. And you're hitting on something that a lot of people have been affected by. Even a lot of people that make a good living are it's challenging because prices, have appreciated a bit, and financing is not terrible, but it's not what it was a few years ago. And so I know a lot of folks, it's been tougher.
It's a little more challenging, but I look at it from a perspective of you can't get the house, buy the house, because everything that happens after that is your life.
Right.
That's where your dreams come true. You walk through the house the first time barefooted, like, oh my God, this is my home. I live here.
Yeah.
You have your birthdays, you experience life, you experience all your anniversaries and graduations and birthday parties, and all those things take place under that roof. Buy the house. Don't stress the interest rate, and all those other interest rates go up, interest rates go down.
Yeah.
And in your time waiting for the perfect opportunity to buy, something else happens, because something else is always bound to happen. There's always something around the corner that's going to happen. But it makes more sense for it to happen under your own roof.
Exactly. And I think I do think at some point soon the rates will come down a little bit. So some of these folks that have bought in the last year, I think, are going to get some relief on a refi. But it's you'll make money over time either way.
Right.
All right. Here's another one. Tell us about this wonderful group of people.
That was the awards ceremony that just happened. That just this past March. We received President's Circle Award. That's myself and my team. That's the illustrious Sheila Rose. Sheila Rose is a wonderful assistant. She has been extremely helpful amongst myself and my buyer agents in getting transactions to the settlement table, getting through some difficult transactions, being able to see some things. She's got 30 years as a conveyancer and is able to really see some things down the line. I like to say to my clients, we're like the headlights on a car. We like to show you what's coming before you get to it, how to go through it, or how to avoid it altogether. Sheila Rose has been a benefit to that process. And those are my guys. Those are my buyer agents. So, we kind of sit down, explain the process to clients, explain through the transactional process. We call it I call it the home of the 45-minute close, because in my
Okay.
mind, settlement should only take 45 minutes. By the time you get to that settlement table,
Yeah.
everything should already be done. The I should be dotted, the T should be crossed. You answer all of the questions that your client may have before you get to the settlement table. So we do a pre-settlement consultation, we do settlement, and then we have a post-settlement consultation so that everybody understands exactly what they did, what they went through. I like good stories.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, all you used to hear was bad stories about real estate transactions. You could hear the most horrible nightmares. Oh, settlement took 4 hours and settlement took 2 days. And the realtor was terrible. I like good stories. I want to create good stories. So when I go back and see my clients after 5 years or 10 years into the home, they can say, oh, this was Brian. Brian, we had a great time at settlement. Brian was funny. He was entertaining. He explained everything. We understood what we did. We still have the original paperwork from when we purchased the house. We still have the home inspection report from when we purchased the house because of Brian. So, that's where, for us, that's where our business comes from. It's from referrals, from word of mouth. So I really want to always try to create good stories for my clients.
Yeah. One of the things that you just said that impressed me was you mentioned that you had even like a post-closing review.
Yeah.
That's interesting, because a lot of businesses is like, as soon as the deal's done and they get paid, they're kind of like, okay, it was great working with you, bye. But it sounds like if you have a process like that, you're really paying attention to the details, and you're trying to make sure everything was good for the client. And if something wasn't right, you're taking steps to try to make it right. And that's a good sign of professionalism.
The goal for us is the referrals.
Yeah.
So in order to be able to get referrals, you want to know what you did right, what you did wrong, and be able to accept criticism. We're realtors. The last thing we can afford to be is thin-skinned.
Yeah.
So if we've got to have tough conversations, we've got to have tough conversations.
Yep.
And I'm human. I've lost.
Right.
But I've learned in that.
Yeah.
So, you always want to come away with some nugget of value, even in the loss.
Yeah. Yeah. Constantly learning and improving. And that's one thing that I was really impressed by, is in learning about Brian and his work. One of the things that we talked about was the podcast that he had started, and that it came from a book club. I was really impressed by the fact that Brian was leading a book club, because I thought that is, well, for one, it reminds me of my wife and her commitment to lifelong learning and improving and those things. But it just, I think it's interesting, and I think it's also just a great way to build relationships and constantly be improving. What can you tell us a little bit about that and how that started?
So one of the first books that I read in book club was a book called The Alter Ego. And it really changed my perspective of my business. It was a book that we were reading in a book club at another office. I left that office after COVID and joined Berkshire Hathaway. And in my interview, I was telling them about the book club, and they were like, well, why don't you do the book club here at the office? I was like, wow, I never thought about that. Okay. So then they started introducing me as Brian Wilson. He's got a book club. Join the book club. So I got to join. We picked up a couple of books, and one of the first books that we did Ninja Selling, we did Atomic Habits, and we did The Compound Effect. And changed the business world, changed the mindset of business, changed how we think about business, changed how we run business, and how the perspectives that we looked at business from, because we do a lot of things as agents. The outside world may have a perception of what we do as agents, but we know what we do on a day-to-day basis for the the 16 hours a day that many of us put in.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of things that go on. If you could only see my desk right now, thank God that you can't. But there's always a lot of stuff going on right now. So how to keep that organized, how to keep your mindset, how to keep sane in an insane world, you know, how to be brave, you know, how to come out of your shell, how to interact with new people, how to have tough conversations, how to even take time for yourself and then impart that time for your family, which is what we do all of this for.
Absolutely.
It's the everything, you know, it's the everything. So I enjoy my business. I enjoy this business. I love real estate.
Yeah.
And I enjoy the time that it affords me to spend with my family.
Yeah. No, that's great. And I think it's people like to do business with people that love the business they're in. So that's good. That's great to hear. Okay, we're gonna wind things down, but before we do, I want to show just a couple more of these success stories, and we've got one a couple food recommendations at the end, because I always like to get a little food at the end.
Okay.
All right. This looks like this is another group of happy customers.
This was my grandson's birthday. I think that was his 7th birthday. That's him in the middle.
Yeah.
And we rented an Airbnb out in the Poconos, and then we all got together for his birthday. And this was the last day. This was the day we were leaving from that Poconos trip. We
that's
had a great time though. It's usually a bunch of us when we get together.
No, that's great. That's what family is. I should have had that picture at the beginning. I apologize. Okay, and then here I know this is a closing.
Yes. That's another happy client, another happy customer. I still keep in touch with them, believe it or not.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I still talk to them. Yeah.
Good stuff. And then this one, I know you told me about this one.
Yeah, that's my brother and his wife when we were at their settlement when they purchased their first commercial project. She purchased a funeral home, and that was us at the settlement. That's the lender on the far left.
Okay.
That's my little brother.
All right. Good stuff. It's great to see it all come full circle back to family. You know? I love that, and it's cool. Sometimes when the two are, business and family are even working together. We're going to transition to a couple food recommendations, because for the folks that are thinking about moving to the area or even just traveling to Philly for work or whatever, I think we've got some good scoop for you. I think most people will recognize this beautiful piece of culinary deliciousness. Do you have a recommendation for where to get a great Philly cheese?
Okay, because it's the great debate of who has the best cheesesteak. Okay, I, being a native Philadelphian, I know many places to get a very good, respectable cheesesteak.
Okay, I'm taking notes. Let me get the pen out here. Get ready here.
There's Larry's. That's where Colby used to go, over by St. Joe's. There's Jim's Steaks on South Street. You know, everybody talks about the Pats and the Genos. No disrespect, but Delisandro's on Henry Avenue, staple is nowhere on anybody's beaten path. You have to find this place. The crowd that gathers in front of Delisandro's on any given football Sunday, you can get a cold beverage, a nice beer. If you can find a place to sit down inside. You get in there, you sit down. The line is around the corner to get a D'Alessandro's cheesesteak because they are that freaking good.
Oh man, that was worth the whole episode right there.
Yes, no whiz. You don't do whiz. It's either provolone or American. You get the fried onions. Okay, you got to top it off. You got to top it off right, and then you got all the different sides that you want: the mushrooms or the peppers or however you want to dice it up. But you get one of the best cheesesteaks at D'Alessandro's.
And you said it was on what street?
It's on Henry Avenue. It's on Henry and Walnut Lane, right off of Walnut Lane. But you won't miss it. The crowd will point it out to you.
Yeah. Oh, that's gold.
Yeah, the crowd of people that stand in front of D'Alessandro's will point it out to you. You can't miss it.
That's great. We have a restaurant show that we're about to launch, and Sandro, who's in Portland, is going to be running that show. But I might have to tell Sandro he might have to make D'Alessandro's, which is awesome since his name is Sandro. We have to get Sandro to go to D'Alessandro's.
Oh, you definitely want to put this on your list of places to go. And the reason I think it doesn't get as much play as some of the others is because it's not in the tourist area. You know, you got to find this one. This is up in the neighborhood.
Okay. This is what we want. We want the hidden gems. This is great, Brian.
Yes, yeah. This is up in Manioc. It's Manioc Roxborough section. So it's right on Henry Avenue. Henry Avenue is a big street, so you won't miss it when you get there. The crowd is the key. You see the number of people that line up in front of this place, you'll know. I found that. And these are locals. Yeah,
that tells you what you need to know. All right, and I've got one more. This is bringing it back to family for the close.
Okay,
I thought this was great. Tell us the story on Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay, so this I used to live down the street from this restaurant. You know, this was like one of my first apartments. So I'm probably like 20 years old, and I stumbled into this restaurant. I sat down. I had a drink. I had a nice meal. The people were really nice.
These clients are just calling Brian all day long. You folks got to get ready.
Oh my God. Fast forward. I'm gonna say fast forward probably 20 years later. It's still there. It's still here in Philadelphia. I took my wife there for one of our first dates, and I proposed to her shortly after that. And we went back 10 years later for our 10th wedding anniversary. It's still there. You know, they were really appreciative to see us, that we came back, that it's sentimental to me.
I love it. No, that's great.
Restaurant in the Rittenhouse section of the city. It's again not on the beaten path. It's not a tourist spot. You know, you kind of gotta find it, but you find it. You found a great eatery.
I love it. That's great. Well, Brian, you have given us Philadelphia gold today. I really appreciate it. You gave us a lot of great scoop about the city and some of the different things that people can take in. Largest park in the country. Some information about great places to eat. You have somebody who really knows the area in Brian K. Wilson. So I hope we can help you get connected to a number of other folks. And I hope that we can also connect with you on maybe even doing a show for us at some point soon. So Brian, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate the opportunity, Zach. Thank you.
Okay. All right.